I'd like to speak to the game manager, please.
Yo, how's it going? This is a new channel that I'm starting. My name is The Game Manager, and this channel is going to be dedicated to doing Let's Play videos, game walkthroughs with commentary. We'll be playing a wide assortment of games. I like to play Madden. Well, like is a strong word. Kind of like a toxic relationship. I'm more forced to play Madden, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to be playing a lot of different games on this channel. You know, I'm excited to get into the YouTube scene. I've always wanted to do content creation, and I'm not going to ramble too much to start this video. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an introduction of what's going to be going on. So I've got big plans for the channel. We're going to be playing the new Harry Potter when it comes out. We'll be playing Elden Ring. We'll be playing Madden 23 when it comes out. Elder Scrolls, Grand Theft Auto. There's a new game I've seen on Steam called Inscription. It looks really good. I'd like to do some horror games. We're going to be doing tons of stuff on here. Going to try to get out as many videos per week as I can. I'm still getting used to learning the mic, the settings. I haven't even edited this video yet. But if you're watching it, know that my editing was successful. That's a good thing. Anyways, let's get right into it. Today we're going to be doing a Madden 22 franchise rebuild. And this is something that I've done 1,000 times, but I've never actually done it for a video before, recording. So this is going to be a unique experience, and hopefully not too awkward, and you know, it'll be enjoyable, and we can have a good time doing it. I honestly don't know what team I want to rebuild. We'll figure that one out. And the other thing is we have some rules that I'm going to be playing by. I think that the integrity of a franchise is important. You know, it's the rules that you set for your franchise that you're gonna follow. And when you break the integrity of your franchise, it's almost like cheating. You know, it makes your franchise feel cheap, and you don't want to play it really anymore. Go ahead and delete that. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm gonna create a new franchise, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so we're back, and surprise, surprise, I've decided that we're gonna do a rebuild of the Minnesota Vikings. I wanted to choose a team that didn't have a young quarterback that I was kind of stuck with, you know, like the 49ers with Trey Lance, or the Bears with Justin Fields, Patriots with Mac Jones. Wanted to do something where I could actually make a decision at quarterback. For year one with the Minnesota Vikings, we're going to be rolling with Kirk Cousins, he's a solid quarterback. We're not going to win anything major with him, but you know, we'll roll with him for year one. I don't think Kellen Mond is going to be the franchise guy either. I think we're definitely gonna have to draft somebody. Now the Minnesota Vikings offensive line is good. It's nice and young. They've got some good pieces. Tight end could definitely use some work. Tyler Conklin, he's he's so slow. Oh my god, he looks like a Neanderthal. But we've got Justin Jefferson, and I thought we had Adam Thielen. And there he is, Adam Thielen. Okay, we found him. So we've got Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen at wide receiver. We've also got Dalvin Cook as our running back. So there are some good pieces on this offense that we can work with. I'm happy about that. Looking at the defense, Harrison Smith is old, but still very well. What's his speed? 88 speed. Okay. Could be could be time to move him to more of a linebacker role, like a hybrid safety linebacker. Corner is rough, but the defensive line is looking okay. And linebacker could definitely use a little bit of work here. There's some pieces we can work with. That's good for me. Now, we've got some franchise rules, like as I was saying. We've got some rules that we're going to be playing by. I'm going to put them up on the screen. But for our franchise trade rules, we've got 9. 1, cannot trade for rookies. 2, cannot trade for second-year players with dev trait or if they were drafted in the first year. 3, third-year players or higher with superstar or better dev trait must involve a first-round pick. 4, avoid trading for young star talent unless the CPU team has depth or the player in question is on the trade block. 5, veteran players 32 or older with superstar or better dev trait can involve second and third round picks, which just means that we're not forced to trade first rounders for, older guys that you just see in reality. Like Julio Jones, for example, went for a second round pick, Number 6, you can't trade for offensive linemen with superstar dev trait. No team's trading them away. Let's be realistic. Cannot trade for offensive linemen on rookie contracts unless they are a backup and follow the first 2 rules. I think that's pretty fair. Cannot trade for a starting quarterback, rookie quarterback, or future franchise quarterback. That's just standard, It's not fun trading for a quarterback. Quarterbacks are what make your team good. Half the rebuild is finding a decent quarterback, right? Number 8, cannot have more than 3 first-round draft picks or 4 of any other round. I think it's just super unrealistic when you've got 7 first-round draft picks, and this is meant to be more of a realistic rebuild. It's not like a fantasy build. Trading up in the first round must be fair towards the CPU. Always give them the better deal. That's just, that just goes towards keeping the integrity of the franchise. Other rules. Cannot use Buccaneers or Chiefs offensive playbook. That's just goes without saying. The Chiefs and the Bucs playbooks are both just broken, and they'll have average quarterbacks throwing for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. But we did remedy this we are allowed to use custom offensive playbooks after year 3. The way I figure is that's sort of like year 3 is when you really have your system installed in real life, and I like that. I have a custom offensive playbook I like to use. It's very balanced. It's good for the passing game, spreads the ball around, and it has a good run factor. You can use any defensive playbook at any time. Rule number 2 for the franchise other rules. Cannot edit stats, traits, or dev trait of a player unless there is a glitch. Cannot edit height or weight of a player. You can, however, edit names, equipment, or faces of randomly generated players. So it allows us to customize the players that are coming in through the draft, which I like to do. I think it gives them life. Coach rule. Okay, yeah, so normally when I play my franchises, I have what I call the coach rule. And the coach rule allows 1 trait change when a player reaches 90 overall, superstar dev trait, or superstar X Factor dev trait. It does not include players who already meet the criteria. Only 1 change per player. So this lets you do a trait upgrade. You used to be able to do that in the older Maddens. I don't know why they got rid of it. When you had your experience, you could, change their discipline from undisciplined to disciplined, or change a quarterback's pocket presence from antsy to average or whatever. It's been a while. I think that was Madden like 18, but that's just how EA is. They take away things and then they try to add them for Maddens later and sell it as something new. Receivers cannot be moved to running back, just too OP. But they can be moved to tight end as long as they're 6'3" and 230 pounds or bigger. No position change restrictions on defense. Just be fair. Don't be putting some safeties at defensive end. It's not realistic. No rules on how to simulate the season. as long as we're not redoing games or resimulating. Just take the L with grace, which is a hard one to do. And even my favorite YouTubers like Bangle and Jerome PK, they have problems taking the L with grace. But we're gonna try our best to do that. And we're gonna play with injuries off, but we still have to simulate roster depth. So not having like 30 P players on the roster. You know what I mean? We should have a full roster, even if with the injuries off. The only reason I don't like injuries on is because it screws with the depth chart. When a player gets injured and then the depth chart changes to what you had from the beginning of the season. It's so annoying, and I wish they would change it, but it's never gonna happen. And the last rule for franchise other rules is breakout stories are turned off. And that's it. That's it for the rules that we're going to be playing by. If you don't like any of the rules, let me know in the comment section, or if you have any ideas for new rules, let me know, and we can add them in. I think that this should be fair, and we'll see how this franchise goes. So I'm not going to show you this part, but I'm going to be adjusting the roster. I'm going to be doing all the signing of free agents and cutting of players. I don't want adjusting positions, and I'm not going to make any trades. I'll let you guys be there when I make trades, but I'm just going to get the roster kind of prepared, ready to go, so we can start the rebuild. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, we are back. I went ahead and I messed around with the roster a lot. Gonna look not too different from when you last seen it, but I really switched up the depth, and I cut some people that I didn't really want, and well, let's just get right into it. So offensive line is looking pretty good. We've got Darisaw at left tackle, Cleveland at left guard, Bradbury at center, O'Neal at right tackle. I don't know how long these guys are going to be here. I'm not 100% sure. I definitely am going to look into drafting some more offensive linemen. Tight end, we're going to actually start Smith over Conklin. I like Smith, his upside, 86 speed. He's younger. Got good traits. Not as big as you would like a tight end, but you know what? Gotta make sacrifices. So we've got 3 good tight ends in Herndon, Conklin, and Smith. Offensive line, we have Cole and Rankin are going to be our 2 backups at each position. We're going to have Jefferson as our number 1, with Thielen in the slot, and number 2. We've got Westbrook and Smith Marset as our 2 other wide receivers. We're only going to roll with 4 receivers on the roster because we've got 3 tight ends. So we don't need that many pass catchers. Normally I don't carry a fullback, but Ham's on a contract, so I might as well just keep him for this year at least. Cook, Madison, and I think it's Wangwu, Nene. Hit that Nene. They're going to be our running backs. And then we've got Cousins, Mond, and I picked up Chris Strevlar to be our number 3. He's a fast guy. I like him. He's never going to play, but you know, I like to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Most teams do. Over on the defensive side, so we've got Harrison Smith. We're going to keep him at strong safety. You know, I'm very tempted to trade him, and I'm thinking that we could even do a trade. I don't really want to trade players this season, the first season. Like when we're doing trades, I want like big franchise altering trades. I want it to be in the off season, which is why Harrison Smith's going to stay. He's going to play strong safety. We've got Barr on the outside. Yeah, he's not a traditional outside back, but in this system, our backs, we want more like pass catching style linebackers playing on the outside for us, especially with our custom defense. In the middle, we have Kendricks, Barr, Dawkins, and really, they're going to be playing all over these 4 linebackers, our 4 middle linebackers. We're kind of playing our Mike linebackers on the outside. Free safety, Nicholson and Crosswell, we both picked up. I like them. They're fast. They're strong. They're going to play the free safety position for us. This team, especially on defense, its biggest weakness is the DBs. Corner is just terrible. It's one of the worst cornerback groups I've ever seen for a team. So it's definitely something we need to work on in the off season, is replacing these corners. Patrick Peterson is old, but he's still athletic, which is good enough for 1 year. Xavier Woods as our number 2. And we're going to have Dantzler and Nickerson as our backups. Looking at our defensive line, we've got Danielle Hunter, who's probably the best player on this defense besides Harrison Smith. How old is he? 26. Okay, he's good. He's good age. He's going to be playing right end for us. This is not necessarily a 3-4 defense that we're running. I just have the scheme as a disguise 3-4 because it fits most of the positions what I want to do. But the playbook we're actually running is more of a 4-3 playbook. It runs a lot of dime and dollar. But anyways, we got Hunter, and we're just gonna. I cut what's his name? I can't remember his name at the top of his head. I cut the other end that they had here, and I replaced him with Wanham and Robinson as the backup, and we got Jones as the backup to Hunter. Defensive tackle, it's actually pretty set. We got Pierce, Richardson, Tomlinson, and I signed Hand to play at DT. But specialists, we got Dantzler in the slot, Wanham as our rush left end, Pierce as our rush defensive tackle, Hunter as our rush right end, and Kendrick, Barr, and Dye as our sub linebackers. Cook, Thielen in the slot. Simple enough. So a little hint, you're gonna want your best pass rusher at rushing right end, because remember, rushing right end is going at their left tackle, which is the blind side of the quarterback. So that's where you're gonna want your best pass rusher. Rushing left end, normally, it depends on the scheme, but normally you're gonna want somebody who's a good run stopper, because a lot of times that's the strong side, the side that they're gonna run the ball to. In this case, we don't have really a good run stopper there, but we have good run stopping defensive tackles. So if I wanted to, I could move one over to the left end, which I'm actually considering doing that. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go ahead and go to our depth chart here. We're going to go rushing left end. And we're going to put, which DT should we put there? Can we put a DT there? Oh, I don't even think they're going to let us put a DT there. That is unfortunate. Okay, never mind. Forget about that. Forget about it. Okay, so that is the lineup heading into our rebuild. A couple other things, that some housekeeping that I want to go over. So for scouting, I like to stick with 2 main position searches per season. This season, we're really going to be focusing on free safety and strong safety, which is why I have my tier 3 and my tier 2 scout as that. We're going to be drafting as many safeties as we can that we can find some diamonds in the rough, and then we're actually going to be converting them all over from corner. We might have them at free safety, strong safety. We need to rebuild the depth of our DBs. That's where I want to start. And also offensive line, right guard, center, left guard, right guard, left guard, center. So we're going to be trying to get linemen and DBs scouted as much as possible, and that's where we're going to start off with our rebuild come draft time. We'll be looking for a quarterback too, but that I'll talk about that later on when we get into the more of the scouting of the season. I believe that is everything we really need. Let's go ahead and we're just going to advance to the next week. Little tip, don't advance right out of preseason. A lot of times you might miss dev stories, not dev stories, but like upgrades and whatnot. And I realized that because I would always just go skip right to the regular season, the wide receiver mentorship. So you wouldn't get this if you just had skipped right to the regular season. Adam Thielen's gonna help out Irv Smith. All right, awesome. Let's do catching in traffic. Nice. We're also gonna manually upgrade players. I'm not gonna show it every single time, but I just want to talk about what upgrades I think are best. Because this franchise is also meant to, you know, give information on everything that I found from doing all my hundreds of franchises that I've done over the past few Maddens. And I want to be able to talk about best ways to run your franchise and how to upgrade and, you know, just little tips that you might not have heard. Another thing, before preseason's over, make sure you're assigning your scouts. I usually put my tier 3 scout as the national, and the rest of them I don't really care that much. I don't really look to see who's the best or which region has the best players. The draft is such a crapshoot, especially after the update, that there's only so much you can do. But yeah, tier 3 I usually put as my national scout. Okay, so week 1 of our first season in our Minnesota Vikings rebuild. We're gonna go ahead and set our season goal. I'm really gonna go 7 wins. I don't know if this is a playoff team. I doubt that we'll make the playoffs. Could. That'd be a nice pleasant surprise. We're gonna choose a draft class. We're just gonna keep the auto-generated. I don't have any like custom classes downloaded. For some reason I can't download any. You know how EA servers are. Terrible. Opening day, key to victory. These little storylines are kind of cheesy. I actually preferred the game without them. I guess we'll do offense passing game. Let's go ahead and upgrade our players. Noah Dawkins, who is a really good depth guy you can find in free agency usually. He's 90 speed, 24 years old. He's never going to be a major starter on your team. But, you know, if you want speed and you want youth, he's one of those guys that you can grab. Troy Dye. Playing linebacker for us right now, but I haven't even looked at his stats. He's 24, 85 speed, 77 hit power, aggressive, high motor, coverage. It's not bad besides the fact that he's old. He was like 21, 22. He'd definitely be someone that I would try to develop for this team. One thing we can do, since we're here, let's go ahead and scout college players, and let's talk about quarterback. That's all I'm going to look for right now. Go to our quarterbacks here. So when looking for a franchise quarterback, the most important thing is going to be his ability to recognize pressure. This trait really affects his sim stats, and it's going to affect his passing yards. It's going to affect his passing touchdowns. It's going to affect your record, and it's going to affect what awards he wins and what his dev trait is at the end of the season. And all of it really comes back to his ability to recognize pressure. So when you're scouting a quarterback, you're going to see this guy, for example, Chris Cranford. His pressure is decent ability to recognize pressure. So that's what his trait, and that actually translates to average pressure. And average is okay. It's the second best quarterback sense pressure that you can get. It's why you'll get lit up by guys like Colin Kaepernick or Jameis Winston, who have average pressure trait. It runs decent in the simulator. It's not horrible, but it's never going to be the top dog. You're never going to find a franchise quarterback and develop him from, you know, a little rookie into, you know, a level 99 overall, you know, into a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers. If he has average sense pressure, it's just not really going to happen. You want ideal. So Chris Cranford, even though he's got, you know, good stats, he just doesn't. I don't want a guy. I'm not going to waste, especially a top 5 pick, on a guy who doesn't have ideal That's pressure. This guy's very antsy in the pocket, which is not good either. That translates to I forget what it's what is it? Yeah, it's like quick to run or whatever. Needs to speed up internal clock. That's oblivious. Pocket passing. Pocket presence trait. Same thing. Pat Drew is oblivious. All these top 5 quarterbacks are really not that great. Average. This guy, he has average pressure sensing. Will take calculated risks, which means that he has ideal passing as well. The good thing about this guy, he's 21 years old, and he's got lightning quick release. Almost ignores lower half. That's Slinger 1. Lightning quick release. That's the best release that you can get. You look at his athleticism, he's really great athleticism too. Unfortunately, he only has average pressure sensing, but we're going to put Rashawn Rivers on our list because if we can get him for a late rounder, he would be worth it. And don't forget, we have our coach rule, so we can always upgrade a player one trait when he reaches Superstar, X Factor, or 90 overall. So that's something that we could improve on him, but let's continue looking. This guy's also average pressure with elite speed and great spin. Same thing, Brandon McAllister. We'll put him on the list, even though he's not exactly what we were looking for. Stephen Fowler's not good. Chris Fitzpatrick. Here we go. Calm but aware of defenders while in the pocket. So that translates to ideal pocket presence. That's what you want for a franchise quarterback. Right there. It's almost only what you need for a franchise quarterback. The only other things that really make a difference, throw power somewhat. Never seen a window he won't throw into. That translates to aggressive. Beautiful spiral on all passes, which you can't take that at face value. It's actually broken. Every quarterback will say that he has a beautiful spiral, but what you'll see is when you draft them and you go to look at their traits, they don't have tight spiral at all, and it's such a letdown. I wish they would fix it, but they took away your ability to add tight spiral to quarterbacks, which you could do in like Madden 18, Madden 17, I think even Madden 19 you could change that. But that's EA for you. Taking a look at him, elite throw power, decent athleticism. We're gonna put Chris Fitzpatrick on our list. His biggest issue is that he's 23 years old, so he's a little bit on the older side. But for around 2-3 guy, pretty good. Demetrius Malone, not very interested in. Cody Johnston, calm but aware, will take a calculated risk. So that's ideal passing, ideal presence. He's 21 years old. Not a great throwing motion. He's 6'6". Good to great throw power. We'll put him on our list of potential quarterbacks we could draft. Jared Forbes. Not really interested. Pat Patton. Not interested. Timmy Herbert. Calm but aware of defenders in the pocket. 6'6", 22 years old. Unfortunately, quick to take the check down. He's got conservative passing, which I don't like as much. Aggressive and ideal are the best. I would say that aggressive passing is the best one, with ideal being number 2. Great to elite throw power. Away. Who's got arm? Gap awareness. We'll put him on our list. The most important thing is ideal pocket presence. If you find a guy with ideal pocket presence, you could turn him into a franchise quarterback with almost any playbook. But if you give him a good playbook, like the Chiefs or the Bucks, which we're not using, he'll throw 5,000 yards in his rookie season. Easy. And he'll always dev up. Okay, so that's it for quarterbacks. If we go to our favorites now, we can see we've got 5 guys here that we're looking at to replace Kirk Cousins. At this point, I like Rashawn Rivers. I like Brandon McAllister, but they're both average pocket presence. Chris Fitzpatrick and Cody Johnson are both great because they have the ideal pocket presence. But that's something we'll worry about in the off season. Not something we need to worry about now. I think for the first game of the season, I want to do an in-game sim. I like to look at the numbers. So for advanced settings, we're not going to be using a custom playbook. We can't use that to year 3 according to our rules. So we're just going to use New England offense, and then we're going to use our custom defense of playbook that I created. Sim defense V2. All right, let's go ahead. Head on in. We're facing the Cincinnati Bengals, headed by Joe Burrow. Running back Joe Mixon. Jamar Chase, their rookie wide receiver, who's probably going to be offensive rookie of the year. All right, so all we're going to do is we're just going to go to jump forward right to end a game. And this is how I like to sim a lot of times. You know, I like to get the full effect, seeing the stats and kind of letting my custom playbooks play out. That's the whole point of doing the in-game sim, really, is using your custom playbooks. But not a great game. There's almost no offense. Let's see here. Oof. Kirk Cousins, 145. Oh my god, that is terrible. 145 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Joe Burrow, 217, 1-1. Rushing, Joe Mixon at 19 for 81. Dalvin Cook at 15 for 68. Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to run this New England playbook going like this. Oh my god, that's terrible. My defense at 3 sacks and an interception. Bunch of tackle for losses. That defense played good. I mean, kept him to 21. It's not too bad for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has the ideal pocket presence, which is one of the reasons why Cincinnati Bengals are really, really good in the simulator. They could use a better playbook. Like if you took Joe Burrow and you put him on the Bucs or the Chiefs or, you know, any team with a above average playbook, he'll do so well because of his pocket presence. And Kirk Cousins, on the other hand, he plays terrible because if you take a look, average sense of pressure, conservative force passes, and throwaway. He has like just the worst of the worst. It's just I don't think we're gonna do anything with him this year. Honestly, I might just sim the whole season, just get right to the end. But I kind of want to keep upgrading guys week by week. I don't like the auto upgrade because you can't choose which archetypes you want it to go in. It's just gonna upgrade your player based on what his best archetype is, and I don't really like that because, you know, you're trying to build the scheme fit, and it's a little bit annoying. But go ahead and advance week. Okay, week 2, we're going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I'm hoping that this goes much better than last game, so we're going to go ahead and sim to the end here, and we'll see what happens. There we go, up by 14. The Arizona Cardinals have a terrible playbook, and what do you know? Kyler Murray does not have ideal pocket presence. He doesn't even have average pocket presence. He has Antsy in the pocket, I think, or yeah, not good, which is why Arizona never does that great in the simulator. But I might be talking too soon. There we go. Okay, we irk out the win. Kirk Cousins at 215. Oh my god, Kyler Murray, I was talking smack. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 69% completion. Kirk Cousins at 215, 1-1. Dalvin Cook went off. Oh my god, 23 for 142 and 2 touchdowns. And Connor couldn't even run, so we really stopped the run. That's good. Receiving, Justin Jefferson had 100 yards. Everybody else kind of meh. Wow, Wanham had 3 sacks, Anthony Barr had 1.5, Daniel Hunter had 1, half for Tomlin, and Patrick Peterson had an interception. So week 3, looking at our contract negotiations that are coming up, Anthony Barr, we're not going to re-sign. Patrick Peterson, we're not going to. Conklin, we may re-sign him in free agency, but we're going to let him walk. Xavier Woods, let him walk. Richardson can walk. Westbrook, Joseph, Herndon, Cole, Scott. I like Hand, but I'll let him walk. I'm honestly going to let pretty much all these players walk. The only ones that I'm probably going to re-sign are Kyle Hinton, Noah Dawkins, Ashari Crosswell. They're young depth guys, and they're so cheap that it's not even going to make a dent into our salary cap. Josh Jones might get a contract as well as Monte Nicholson, but we'll see about these two as well. They're pretty cheap. Okay, moving forward, I realized I spent a lot of time kind of talking and introducing the channel and rambling and trying to get a feel of what I wanted to talk about and the pacing of the franchise. So I think that for this franchise, I don't want to do the in-game sim for week by week. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do advanced week, and I'm just going to try to like sim seasons more quicker so we can get a couple seasons in. And so I don't want this video to be only about maybe an hour long. I'm thinking a little over an hour, and I don't want to spend half of it just talking and not doing anything about with the rebuild itself. So I'll see you guys at the playoffs. We'll see if we make it or not. I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, so season's over, and as you can see, we got smoked. We went 5-12. We did worse than even the Bears. We didn't even come close to a playoff berth. I'm gonna go ahead and sim to the Super Bowl to see so that we can let the devs upgrades kick in. Super Bowls when your characters will get your players will get their dev upgrades if they do earn them or not. I'm gonna upgrade the players right here, and then we'll go check out the depth chart and see who got upgrades. Okay, so done editing, done upgrading the team. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the stats and awards. I want to check out how we did. Kirk Cousins was average, below average really, for starting quarterback of his age and experience. He needs to go. He has to go. Rushing, Dalvin Cook, pretty good season. Almost 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. Good for you. Receiving, we had no 1,000-yard receivers, but Justin Jefferson and Herb Smith both tried their best. Westbrook and Thielen. Receiving group was pretty good. I'm impressed with the receivers. Sacks. Nothing extraordinary. Okay, defense. Who led the sacks? So Daniel Hunter had 16 sacks. DJ Wanham had 8. Good for you, DJ. Nothing else for anybody really. Interceptions, 3 for Dantzler, 3 for Smith, 2 for Peterson. Oof, man. Team just needs work. DJ Wanham and Michael Pierce and Daniel Hunter had a lot of tackle for losses, but yeah, there's not much to show when it comes to stats. Go ahead and look at Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Justin Herbert with 5,100 yards. EA must have upgraded the Chargers playbook because I've never seen Justin Herbert hit 5,000 before. 3 5,000-yard passers, that's crazy. Go ahead and look at the awards for this year. MVP, Patrick Mahomes. Coach of the year was McVay. AFC, we're in the NFC. Offensive player in the NFC. We didn't have anybody. Defensive, Hunter came in 6th for defensive player of the year. Offensive rookie of the year, none. Defensive rookie of the year, none. Oh, we really sucked. Yeah, this rebuild is gonna be a tough one. we've got some work to do. I've done so many rebuilds that I think that I should be able to put my experience to use and put together a pretty good roster. Let's go ahead and You know what? Let me go to Advanced Week. Go to re-sign players. I want to re-sign a couple guys. Some of those depth guys. I just don't want them to hit the free agency because I don't want to compete for them. Have to pay them extra. They're ready to negotiate. They're so cheap though, it doesn't really matter. Okay, Noah Dawkins is a guy I want to keep. We're gonna give him a 5-year, 950K deal. Like I said, just a depth guy. Shari Crosswell, great stats, good traits. We'll give him a little bit more. Oh, interesting. Kyle Hinton. We're gonna give him a 6-year deal. Josh Jones. I like Josh Jones. I'll give him the 2-year that he wants. We can always just cut him. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. See you, bud. Okay, bud. Okay. All right. Forget it. Just let them all walk. I don't care anymore. Go ahead. Advanced Week. So one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna trade Kirk Cousins. It's a good time to do it. We'll be able to save 35 million going into the free agency, and there's only a 10 million penalty. And I think the team that makes the most sense to give him to is going to be the Saints, who need a quarterback badly, but they have no cap space. Huh. That is a bummer. Give me a second to find a new team. Okay, Steelers also need a quarterback. Apparently Big Ben retired, so we're going to trade him to the Steelers. I feel like Kirk Cousins probably only worth maybe a third. And I'm thinking a third and a fourth next year for Kirk. No. He's got a big contract, right? Maybe you could ask for more, but I just don't think he's that good. And I'm not gonna ask for a first round pick for him. I just don't realistically just don't think it should be fair to give the CPU a quarterback who's not gonna ever win them anything. There's a couple other guys I was thinking about trading off here. Harrison Smith is still a superstar. He is regressing. I think I'm going to trade him. Honestly, we need to get younger on this team. There's a lot of old superstars on this team, and we need to get younger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to trade Harrison Smith to a contender. Hopefully he can get a Super Bowl the end of his career. I think maybe the Bucks. Do the Bucks have a strong safety? They don't. Okay, there we go. So they need they want a middle linebacker too. Maybe we can make a deal here with the Bucks for a first round pick. The late first round pick. We would give him Harrison Smith and a middle linebacker. Maybe Kendricks? They're not interested in Kendricks, eh? Okay. I'm thinking Harrison Smith. And maybe a third round pick. Late first. I feel like that's pretty good. I think that's a good deal. Okay. Go ahead, make the trade. This is like he can go. I wish you could turn off practice squad signings. It's so annoying. I don't really want these practice squad players on my team. I don't know why they make me do that. You're never really ever going to use them. We're also going to trade Eric Kendricks, who's 30 years old, to the Chiefs, who need a middle linebacker to go alongside Bolton. We're going to ask for their late first round pick, but we're also going to give them a draft pick to go along with it. Not anything special. We're going to give them a 6th this year and a 7th next year. 6th, a 7th, and Kendricks for a first round pick. I like that trade. Definitely helps us. Talking about our defensive line, Michael Pierce and Tomlinson, I think I'm going to keep, even though they're older, at least for one more year. DTs are kind of hard to get, and they're hard to, well, they're not hard to draft per se to get good stats, but to get them with dev trait is hard. A lot of DTs don't come with dev traits, even though they have good stats. They'll be like 79 overall, rookie, normal dev, and then just ridiculous 80 speed, 90 strength, just amazing guys, just no dev trait. And then they don't put up big enough tackles or sack numbers to get dev trait, to dev up. So I'm not going to get rid of my DTs for now. Unfortunately, Adam Thielen regressed extremely hard, but I still think he could be good for a contender, so we're going to end up trading him. I don't know exactly where I want to send him. Maybe send him to go play with Diggs, his old buddy in Buffalo. Not a bad idea. You think we get a 2nd round pick? They don't really want him, Thielen. But he's better. He'll be their number 2, you know. Give oops. There we go. A 6th. We'll give 2 6ths and Adam Thielen for a 2nd round pick. We'll see if they accept that. They don't accept it. Okay. Is there anybody who actually wants him? Cleveland Browns. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's ask for a 2nd round pick. There we go. Got a 2nd for Adam Thielen. Unfortunately, had to trade him, but you know what? Like I said, there's so many old guys on this team that just had to go. But we've got a good core here of players that are going to be here for the future. And some of them, I'm hoping, will dev up and will be here for the next couple of years. By the way, I said that we were going to look at to see who dev'd up, and unfortunately only DJ Wanham dev'd up, and Daniel Hunter lost his X Factor, so really we're at 0. Nothing good, but you know what? Whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so free agency is over. I'm going to go over some of the signings that I did. Dwayne Haskins, we signed to be a backup with Kellen Mond, because we're going to be drafting someone this season, I believe. So they'll be our 2 backups. Running back, we didn't do anything. Wide receiver, we signed Chark to be our number 2. 94 speed and 6'4" is nothing to laugh at. So he was definitely someone that I wanted to grab. I also grabbed Jacoby Myers to replace Adam Thielen in the slot, and I think that he was a pretty good deal. We got him there. Tight end, we grabbed Juwan Johnson and Ian Thomas to play backup behind Irv Smith. Left tackle, we spent a lot of money to bring in Teron Armstead. He was just sitting there, superstar, 94 overall. I normally don't pay for old offensive linemen, but get a nice pass protector for whoever our next franchise quarterback is. And we moved Christian Darrisaw as well to center. So we're gonna have Ezra Cleveland who at left guard. Christian Darrisaw will play center. We moved Bradbury to right guard, and then Brian O'Neill to right tackle. So offensive line looking pretty good. Left end, we didn't draft anything. Right end, still good. Defensive tackle, we signed Jerron Reed and Doug Costin. Left outside linebacker, we still need to get somebody. Middle linebacker, we have nothing at the moment. Right outside linebacker, I apparently signed 2. Didn't mean to do that. Oops. Cornerback, I signed AJ Bowie and Kyle Fuller to 1-year deals just as placeholders until we can get some actual young DB talent in here. Free safety, I signed Monte back, and I grabbed Sheldrick Redwine. I'm going to figure out where I want these guys to play. Strong safety as well. Jordan Whitehead, I think I'm going to move to middle linebacker. Kicker, we brought in Rodrigo Blankenship. Punter, we brought in Jack Fox. Okay, so we're here in the 2022 draft, and our Minnesota Vikings have the 6th pick in the first round. Normally I would just skip right to our pick, but I was looking at the draft board and I noticed Juan Spence, who is projected to be the 5th pick. He is looking like a guy I might trade up for. 23 years old, so he's a little bit on the older side. He has a tackle, but if you look at his physicals, it's just ridiculous. He was first in speed, first in bench, like 3-cone shuttle, just ridiculous stats along the board. If he's still available at 5, I might trade up 1 pick. If not, it's not that big of a deal. There's other guys that I've seen that I like, and let's go ahead and skip to the next pick. Arizona took the guard. They'll take a quarterback. They'll take a quarterback. I don't know what they'll take. They took a quarterback. Great game. Let's see what's going on now. Juan Spence at Drew Judge. I feel like maybe we should trade up to get Juan Spence. We could really use another pass rusher. Put on that line a little smaller. See if I can make a deal with the Texans. Okay, so we're going to be giving the Texans a 4th round next year and a 5th round this year. It's a little bit of an overpay, but I think it's fair to the CPU. Hopefully this is going to get us our franchise defensive end of the future. And we'll see if Juan Spence is worth that 6th pick in the draft. All right, Juan, let's make you a Minnesota Viking. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, he looks good. Wow, 86 strength, 88 speed. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he can just skip he can just skip training camp, just start for us right away. He's really good. Okay, with our 24th pick in the first round, I was looking at Brandon McAllister, and then I decided that, you know what? I don't think it's worth it. He doesn't have the traits that I want. He's fast with good throw power, but you know what? I've seen a better quarterback that I like more. So instead, I'm going to be drafting David Torres out of Louisville. He looks incredible. Like really, really good. And I think he's almost guaranteed to have a good hidden dev trait. So, David Torres, welcome to the team. And as I said, almost guaranteed to have it. You can just tell when it comes to centers which ones are going to have a dev trait. They'll have high awareness and good physical stats. Next pick isn't till 32, but there is a player that I really like and I want to trade up to get, and I'm going to show him to you. View draft board. So this is Ed Keys, middle linebacker out of Notre Dame. He's 6'1", 220 pounds, 21 years old. But what's most amazing about him is runs a 4.36 40-yard dash, and he has a hit power. I just feel like I can't pass up on a middle linebacker who's that fast. He's like 91 speed, maybe 92 speed, I'm hoping. So I'm gonna trade up like 3 spots just to assure that we get him, because he is 5, 7, 8 guys behind. Yeah, might have to trade up to like pick 20, and we will trade up to the Lions pick. I'll be right back when I figure out who I'm going to be trading with. Okay, so we're going to be trading a 5th and a 4th next year to move up 4 spots. A little bit more, but a little bit of an overpay still. But you know what? I want to make sure that we get that middle linebacker. He was just a little too good to pass up on. You don't really see middle linebackers with that speed very often. So let's go ahead and find Ed Keys. Ed. Did I miss him? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. He was drafted. No. That is so disappointing. There was like 8 players ahead. There's 5 players ahead of him. Oh, that is brutal. Who took him? It wasn't the Browns. Oh, that is brutal. That is so brutal. I hate when that happens. Okay. I'm gonna find somebody else to draft, I guess. That's disappointing. I can't believe I traded up and got jacked. Okay, I guess with that 28th pick, we're gonna reach a little bit here. We're gonna grab Rhett Westbrook, a center. He looks like he's probably gonna have a hidden dev trait as well. A pass block finesse, B pass block power. He's 22, super athletic. He's looking really, really good. So let's go ahead and we're gonna draft him. That's good. He's a good consolation prize, I guess. We missed out on that linebacker with the crazy speed, but we're going to go ahead and go right to our next user pick. And with this pick, I think we're going to take that quarterback. Which quarterback? Chris Fitzpatrick. He's a project, but he's got ideal pocket presence, aggressive throwing. He's got great throw power. He's decent athletic. Stats aren't anything to die for, but you know what? I think that he has what it takes to be a franchise quarterback. And if not, he's placeholder. Welcome to the team. 93 throw power. That's awesome. That's really awesome. He's a big arm quarterback. Not as mobile. More of the mole. He's only 6'3" though. I'm trying to think of a quarterback who's 6'3" with a big arm and just kind of slower. Huh. I'll have to think about it after. Going to our next pick. Let's see who is available here. I wanted to check out our safety. There's a couple that I liked. In particular, I believe it was Cassidy Rutledge. Who, no, it wasn't him. It was the guy down. Jalen Burke, who's a 2nd or 3rd round guy. No, it wasn't Jalen Burke either. It was the guy under him. Okay, it was Lance Briggs. Round 2 to 3, but he's potential. No. Huh. I'm a little confused here. There was I thought there was a free safety who was fast. But I might be confused. What was Cassidy's speed? 4.6. No, he's too slow to play DB for us. And Jalen Burke, what was his speed? 4.5, huh? He's a little too slow as well. Okay. Yeah, forget about these guys then. Okay, with this pick, we're going to draft middle linebacker Bill Craig out of TCU. He's 21 years old. He's pretty athletic. With A finesse moves and A hit power. That's all I know about him, but I think he's worth the 2nd round pick. Welcome to the team, Bill Craig. 87 speed. Not bad. No dev trait. It's unfortunate. I'll be more upset if that Ed, the other middle linebacker, if he has a dev trait, which we'll check, just because I want to break my own heart. Let's go to the next pick. Okay, pick 6 of the 3rd round. Let's see who we're gonna take. Okay, with our 3rd pick, we're actually gonna end up drafting a 3rd lineman, Jonathan Taylor. A awareness, B pass block power, B run block finesse, great physicals, 23 years old. He's probably going to be hidden dev trait. And he is. So we got 3 hidden offensive linemen, so we could probably trade away some of our older ones and get some picks for next year, which is good. And we'll have young guys on rookie contracts. I like that. Let's go ahead and go to our 4th pick. And I think I'm gonna go after there was a safety that I liked. I believe it was it Connor Farmer? B hit power, 449 speed. Okay. 23 years old, hybrid. There was a faster one, I believe. It was Greg Gallery. Nope. Who was the fast safety that I seen? Delonte Presley, 21 years old. There we go. 438 speed, super athletic. He's a day 3 guy with A catching. For a 4th round pick, why not? Delonte Presley, 91 speed. Might make a good slot corner. See what his stats are after man coverage and whatnot. We have no picks, so that's it. All right, end of draft. Unfortunately, wasn't the big DB draft class that I was hoping for, but perhaps next year we can do that. Let's go to the draft recap. Let's have our heart broken with that middle linebacker. That's my draft class. Let's go to NFL. So the highest player in the NFL was Lowry at 80 overall, and Chris Canford at 78 overall. Juan Spence was a top 4 guy, so he was a good pick. Okay, let's go ahead and find Ed. So Ed Keys. Oh, no dev trait. 91 speed, 85 hit power. Okay, he was good, but he's not like cry I missed out on him good. So I'm actually not too bad with that. And we ended up drafting some linemen. Let's go check out our draft class. Vikings. So Juan Spence, 6'2", hidden dev trait, 23 years old, speed rusher, 88 speed. He's got all the traits of the world. 84 hit power. Man, this guy's good. He is really, really good. Might end up converting him to a power rusher, and I'll put him on the right end. I'll keep him at the right end, and I'll move Hunter over to the left end, I think, is what we might do. We also got David Torres, who is 70 overall, hidden dev trait. Not bad. Rhett Westbrook. 22 years old, hidden dev trait. Quarterback, he is 65 overall, 23 years old, but ideal, aggressive, no tight spiral. That's disappointing. 93 throw power. He'll start. Bill Craig, 71 overall, pass catcher, 87 speed, 86 hit power, very good. Jonathan Taylor, we got him in the 3rd round. He's actually the best of all the rookies that we drafted. We got 3 really decent linemen. And then Delonte Presley, who is 65 overall, 21 years old, 91 speed, 77 hit power. Man coverage isn't that great, but we can work on that. We'll probably move him to corner and try to develop him there. I think that's where we're going to get the most bang for our buck. Maybe as a slot corner. But anyways, that's the draft class. Go ahead and advance week. I'm going to take care of the depth chart, and thank you for watching. This gameplay was much longer than I first anticipated, so I'm splitting the footage into 2 parts. If you enjoyed part 1, please like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video.